Okay, it's the 18th of Feb. It's a Tuesday. We've got just under 30 minutes to the NY Open. Get to the charts in a second. Yeah, good. Okay. All right. Okay, perfect. All right. So let's take a look at the news calendar quickly. There shouldn't be anything today, but yeah. So today, there is no news. There's no news this week. Um, so what could move price is basically fundamentals, right? If we have any news, any update on tariffs, which might happen, I think today. There is a speech in about an hour and a half, less than an hour and a half from now, and that could move price. But other than that, there are no news events. I said this last week as well. And I said this in the group yesterday that there are no major news events this week or next week. But what could move price are fundamentals. Any global events that take place or anything to do with tariffs can move price, can move the price of gold. Okay, so right. Okay, let's get to work. Let's go up a time frame on the weekly. So just as anticipated, the weekly candle left a big wick, right? Which could get filled. There is no guarantee, but it could get filled. It also could be a rejection wick that might continue to push price down. After we make a top wick this week, we might push price down. That could happen. That's one scenario. The second scenario is um, the weekly candle, this current weekly candle that has opened yesterday fills this wick and continues to 2950 because we haven't touched 2950 yet. So those are two scenarios that on the weekly time frame. If you look at the weekly, those are two scenarios that could play out. This could this could be a rejection wick where price has rejected 29.29, and we create a top wick this week on this current weekly candle. We create a top wick and push down, or the other scenarios, price could this current weekly candle could fill this wick and hit 2950 this week, right? Or even go further up. Let's go down to the daily. We'll have more information on the daily. On the daily, we have a rejection of 29.29 several times. Price has rejected 29.29. So we could be pushing down. Looking at the daily, we could be pushing down. But right now, we've created daily support. So yesterday, we've created daily support, and daily support was created at this daily demand level. There is a rally, two basin candles, and a rally, right? A rally, two basin candles and a rally, and price dipped into this on Friday. We pushed down, we dipped into this daily demand level, and we created daily support yesterday, and now we've broken the previous day high, we've broken yesterday's high, and we're heading up. And where are we heading to? Very likely to 29.29. So we'll have to see what happens. If we have a daily close above 29.29, then we could push further up to 29.50, right? That could happen today, or that could happen tomorrow. Okay, let's go to our trading chart. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, so before we draw our zones, yesterday I didn't take any trades because yesterday was a US bank holiday. It's a non-trading day for me during the New York session. If you're trading the New York session, it's a non-trading day. But if you're trading the Asian or the London, then you should be fine to trade on a US bank holiday. So basically, price pushed down. We did take sells. I did take sells. I did give out the sell ideas. Did take sells. I think around 29.29 or higher. I think somewhere here I took sells 29.30 or 29.31. I don't know what exactly where I took sells. And price did run all the way down. I did get out early though. I think at around 125 pips I did get out because it was a Friday. But price then continued to just plummet down, and we came to this liquidity candle right here. There is, I think, a 15-minute candle mark right here. We came there, created M30 support here, and then pushed all the way up again from this liquidity candle. This one right here, right, that we marked, that's on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so let's get rid of all of this and start our analysis again. Okay. All right, we're heading back to this area to 29.29. Anyway, let's start with our supply zones. Okay, so there is a rally, 3 basin candles and a drop here, right? And also this zone hasn't broken right through yet. Let's get rid of this because price has come across, it's crossed the 50% mark. We don't need that anymore. And let's extend this down here. Okay, so that's a rally. 1, 2, 3 base in candles and a drop. And the reason I'm taking this starting the base here because this candle has a more collective wick than it has body, and so does this candle, and this candle is in between the two of them, right? But this candle is the leg in, and that's the leg out. Let's put the numbers on that. The open is 739, 739. Okay, we're going to take a look at this area as well on the 1 hour, right? But this is H4 supply, and okay, yeah. Let's take a look at this this area on the 1 hour. So there is a zone there, which I don't want to ignore, because there is a break of a 4 just after this weekly resistance level, 29.29. So I'm gonna mark that zone on the 1 hour. Just go down the 30-minute also and have a look at it. Yeah, we're good on the 1 hour because that's a clear supply zone. I don't like marking zones on the 1 hour, but there is a break when it's very close to weekly SR levels. I do have a look at it on the lower time frame. So that's the leg in, base, leg out, right? Drop, base, drop. So the high of this is 837061. 837061. And we'll move this 8.57. Yeah, so it doesn't overlap each other. Okay. And I'm gonna mark this as H1 supply, right? Because it's visible only on the 1 hour, not on the 4 hour, right? Okay, so that's the supply that is the supply for the NY session, right? Those two zones, 1 hour supply, 4 hour supply. Now let's look at demand. Let's move this here. Okay, so we have a rally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basin candles and a rally. Okay, so you can see that this is all in one range. All of that is in a single range, and these two candles at these two, and this candle are like the bookends, right? And everything else is in the middle, the range. So that's the zone. So let's put the numbers on that. This would be, the close would be 296 and low would be 827. 827, 2.96. Okay, all right. So we have this zone here that we had marked earlier. It's a 4-hour zone. You have a drop and a rally, but the base is visible, I think, on the 1 hour or the 30 minute. I think maybe on the 30 minute. No, on the 1 hour, right? That's a drop base rally. So I'm going to extend that to the right. And what I'm going to do is, one second. Since prices come deep into this liquidity candle, we're going to get rid of that liquidity candle. And we're going to have a relook at that zone, because now we have a base here, a drop, a base, and a rally on the 4. So we're going to bring that down to this 84.02. 84.02. Okay, yeah. And let's take a quick look at these on the 1 hour. Yeah, seems fine on the 1 hour. This would be better to come up here just to include these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base in candles. So that would be the drop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base in candles, and the rally. So I'm going to bring the zone up to this candle, 534. 5.34. Okay, yeah. All right. So now we have that as the base. On the 1 hour, it's cleaner because you can see the base. On the 4 hours, the base is visible, but on the 1 hour, it's very clear what those base in candles look like. Right. So let's put a label here. So that's 4-hour supply. That's also 4-hour. I mean, that's 4-hour demand, and below we have 4-hour demand as well. That is covered about 400 pips to the downside. That should be good. I think we can extend maybe this zone to the right from last week just to cover a bigger drop if we have one, but I doubt it. But we never know. There is a Trump speech happening. I think it's better to have them covered, because when Trump speaks, it's a lot of things that can happen. So we're going to extend all of these to the right, this zone as well. Pay attention to these liquidity candles, because that's where price reacts. Just as you saw on Friday, where price reacted and pushed up, I think, how long? 300 and, yeah, what, 375, 385 pips. It pushed up from that liquidity candle. So pay attention to these liquidity candles. These liquidity candles are the roadmap. Sorry, one second. What's happening? Oh, extremely sorry about that. Extremely sorry about that. I was speaking and there was no video. Really sorry. I'll quickly just recap what I did. It shouldn't take long. So basically there is a 1 hour zone here. I marked that zone. There's a drop, base drop, because that zone, that 4-hour candle comes from a weekly SR level, right? Sorry about that. It's okay. We'll redo it. The reason I look at this break is whenever a candle crosses a weekly SR level and it pauses, there is no single candle going right down through it, and it stops, breaks like this, there is sometimes there's a base there. So you need to go and look at that. So that is why I went down to the 1 hour time frame, and then that base is very clear, a drop, base, drop, right? That is the first supply zone. Then the one above is the one that we haven't broken, but we've formed new supply here. A rally, one, two, three basin candles and a drop. Okay, so the reason I start with this candle as the base is because this candle has more collective wick than body, and so does this candle, and this candle is sandwiched between those two. So that candle automatically becomes part of the base, right? So those are the two supply levels. There's a 1 hour supply level that where price is heading to now, and a 4 hour supply level, right? So we are heading there now. Then for demand, we have a rally, one, two, three, four, five, six basin candles, which is pretty obvious. That's the base. These are the two, the candles, the two bookends. And then you have these six candles in between and the rally base rally, okay? And down here, we have this zone down here. The price hasn't broken through it yet. So I've extended that zone, but I've incorporated this demand zone into that demand zone. I'm making it one. So that's a drop base rally, and I've refined it on the 1 hour, kind of fine-tuned it on the 1 hour to the 1 hour base. That's a drop, one, two, three, four, five basin candles, and the rally, right? So that's basically that's 4 hour supply and 1 hour supply, 4 hour demand, and then below is also 4 hour demand. That's all I've done. Okay. And I've extended these zones from last week because there's a Trump speech today, and when Trump speaks, price can move 300-400 pips easily, right? So we just need to cover a fair amount to the downside, which is good enough. That's about 700 pips to the downside. That's good enough. Okay. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to extend these liquidity candles to the right. These candles were drawn last week. I'm not going to redraw them. I'm going to waste time redrawing them. I'm going to just extend them to the right. Okay, they were drawn from last week. Yeah, and these are all high liquidity zones. If you just watch maybe Tuesday's or Wednesday's stream last week, it's pretty clear, right? Okay. Oops. Save this. Okay. This low is 422. Yeah, good. All right. Okay, next step. So now there's a new supply level here and a new demand level. We need to check. I'm going to check if if those zones, the supply zone and the demand zone, if they're high liquidity zones or not. So basically, I'm going to see if this demand zone has taken out anything to the left, any supply to the left. Let's go down to the 1 hour for that. Yes, this move up, there was supply here. It's visible on the 30-minute. There's a rally, a base, and a drop, and this move that started up here took out that supply, right? You can see this candle wick above this. So that is a high liquidity zone. All right, and then let's go back to the 1 hour. And did this supply zone, the new one, that 1 hour zone, did it take out anything to the left? Yes, it did. It took out a lot of zones to the left. It took out this zone here, and even this one here, the rally base rally, right? It took out even that low right there, right? So that is also a high liquidity zone. So just going to mark that as a high liquidity zone. Yeah, coming back after a long weekend is just too much of a break. So to get back to the charts, the the momentum kind of breaks, So you got to be. So it affects the analysis. It affects everything. I'll be very honest. It affects everything. So you got to have your game on, your A game on when you come to the charts after a long weekend. All right. So we have a high liquid zone here and here. Now here we've created new supply, but it's a reaction to this original supply. This is the source, the drop here. These were all-time highs, and that's the source, price pushed down. This is a reaction to that, right? This is the first reaction to this. On the 4-hour, it's one reaction. Obviously, if you go down time frames, there are several reactions, but on the 4-hour, there is one reaction to this source. This is the source of supply, the rally, and then the drop, right? It was quite a big drop of about 650 pip drop, and price got there for the first time and dropped again. That was on Friday, right? That was a massive drop. Um, Okay, so this supply has taken out now these zones. So that too is a high liquidity zone because this new supply that was created took out this demand on the way down, right? This new supply, when price pushed down, took out this demand, took out this demand. So that too is a high liquidity zone. Okay, right, that's it. That's the analysis. And we got time to spare. We're going to just clean up the chart a bit. Um, and in about 2-3 minutes, we're going to take a look at what price did um, in the Asian and London sessions today, right? That always helps because it gives you kind of an idea of what price can do during the NY session. There is no guarantee, but it's an idea, just an idea. Okay, done. So, yeah, we're averaging about 400 pips a day on the daily time frame. Candles, last 3 candles around roughly on average in about 400 pips. That's a very healthy average daily range for gold. Let's go down to the 15-minute and take a look at what price. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'll be back in a minute. A couple of minutes. All right. Okay, let's see what price has done so far. Okay, that's a daily open right there. Let's just zoom in a bit. Move these across. Okay, so that's the daily open. The open price was 28.9850. Okay, around 28.9850 is the open price. Price pushed up, pushed down. So this is the Asian low. Uh, 92, 28.92. Okay, and then we have, this would be the Asian high. Yeah. $10.72. Then London lows on 19. be the London high. $543. Perfect. Okay, so let's look at this. 9, one last time, 245, yeah, that's good. 530, yeah, okay. So here's what has happened. The market opened right here, right? Price pushed up to 2900, rejected 2900, pushed down, back into that, sorry, we got one step I missed. Anyway, we have to identify the liquidity candles in this. I told you, after a long break, takes a little time to get back into the groove of trading. Anyway, okay, so let's finish this before we identify liquidity candles. So price basically pushed. There is a liquidity candle here. We're going to take a look at that. There's a liquidity candle in this. That's where price came and tapped it, and then pushed closed above 2900, continued higher. So in the Asian session, the price moved 180, or roughly about 185 pips, and in the London session we moved just about 80 pips, right? So about half of that. And in Asian session we moved about 185, in the London session about 80 pips. Okay, so we closed above 2900, created the Asian high, pushed down again, closed above the Asian high, went up, stopped, paused here. It's interesting why it paused here. You got to take a look at that area. Anyway, created the London high, ranged for the London session, closed back below the Asian high, immediately closed back above the Asian high. So that was like a fake out, if you want to call it, right? Price grabbed on the way up. When it closed above, it grabbed liquidity from the EMAs and closed above, went back to the London high, closed above the London high, and we're heading higher. Now, if we close back below the London high, we should head down. We should head down. But if we pull back, close below and close back above, create support and close above, then we're heading higher. Okay. Now, that is what the Asian and London session has done. Let's take a quick look at the liquidity candles. Let's go to the 1 hour. So we have two supply zones to look at. Price is heading towards it. If it gets here, where can price push down? Is there a specific area that price can, specific price level? On the 1 hour, we have this wick. I'm going to mark this wick. Let's go down to 30-minute and take a look at that candle. There is a large candle there. It's a 152 pip candle. Let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah, it's still this candle. So I'm going to mark this candle out. Let's look at the 5-minute because that candle is still quite large. There we go. That's the candle. Right? That's the candle on the 5-minute. 129 pips. So the high is 040793. 040793. Perfect. Okay. And that's exactly where price has tapped into. Right? We've tapped into that liquidity candle. Let's see if we're going to get a reaction and push down. right? But that's a liquidity candle. If we break that liquidity candle, is there a new liquidity candle here? Because price came deep into this candle. Is there a new one here? So let's go to the 1 hour. That's the largest candle here. It's an 80 pip candle. Go down to the 30-minute. Oh, there's nothing. There's nothing. Once we break this high, we should go straight through. There's nothing here except for this candle. Let's look at the 15-minute. So 46 pip candle, 41, 46. Yeah, there's nothing here. It's 46, 45. It's that candle right there. But that shouldn't hold price. One five two 138. There's nothing here to hold price. It's just that candle. Once we break this, we should be heading higher. Minute, there's nothing. It's 57 pips. 51. This candle is there. It's 76418. Yeah. Once we break this high, there is just this liquidity candle, and then it's about 45 pips away. I don't think that's going to hold price. We're heading straight up. We're heading straight up. If this liquidity candle doesn't push price down, then we're and we break this high, the next level that could push price down is 29.29. If that doesn't push price down, and we basically, if price breaks above 2930.4, we're heading through straight up another 125 pips. There's nothing to hold price and push it down above 2930.5. All right, that's great. Let's take a look at this area. All right, if price drops down, the 4 we have created, haven't created support yet. On the 1 we just have these wicks. Price should come through this. On the 1 hour, we have this candle here, which is a 98 pip candle. That one is 99. Let's go down to the 30-minute. $87. 84. This one right here. Let's take a look at the 15-minute quickly. 15-minute, we have a large candle here. 84 pips. 58. 75. This one right here. Yeah, that's the candle. 44. 43. 45. 84. How big is this zone? It's 146 pips. Wow. 570 and 670. 670. Okay. We should be heading high. Let's take a look at that in a bit. Okay. If you come down here, do we have a new liquidity candle here? We've created this. Let's take a look at this on the 1 hour. This candle here. The 1 hour, 30 minutes. Still that same candle. The 15-minute. 81. 82. 80 pips. It's 83. It's this one. 52. 51. 52. Yeah, this one. Four five eight nine four two. Okay. 87.6, 85. Seven eight three nine one three. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay, that's better. Right. Now we're going to wait for, see what has happened in 15 minutes. 15 minute is going to close probably below the London. Let's see, we've got 3 minutes more. That's a lot of time. Price can close above, but I think we're heading higher, right? So since price is pushing up to supply to this liquidity candle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for a 30-minute resistance to form before looking for sells, right? Price is pushing into this. It makes sense to look for sells from this liquidity candle, but I would like to see price go deeper into it, at least to the midpoint, before we push down. So I want to wait for 30-minute resistance to form, and not just 30-minute resistance. Yeah, well, if I see 30-minute resistance form, I might take a sell trade, but I'm going to wait for the 30-minute candle to close for that, right? So I'm going to wait for 30-minute resistance to form. But if a candle closes, if a 15 after 30-minute resistance forms, if a 15-minute candle or that 30-minute candle that formed resistance, if it closes below the London high, that would be ideal. Pull back, take a sell for price to come down, and maybe we come down to this area, to the EMAs, or further down, or even here. That's about 150 pip, 140 pip, 150 pip drop, right? That's the kind of trade I want to take, so I'm going to wait. There's plenty of time. It's just a 15-minute. I'm not going to trade off the 15-minute here because it's a counter trend trade. Price is pushing up, and I want to wait for the 30-minute resistance to form. So I'm going to patiently wait for that. 30-minute has another 16 minutes for the 30-minute candle to close. So yeah, until then I'm not going to do anything. And I can't buy here because we're already at supply. So I can't buy, I don't buy. But for those who want to buy, they can buy, but I can't buy according to my rules because price has already tapped the liquidity candle and we're in supply. So yeah, that is that candle right there. Let's go to the 5-minute again. It's pretty clear. That's the candle. That's the liquidity candle, the 5-minute liquidity candle. Go to the 1-minute. Yeah, it's just a few candles, but on the 5-minute, it's pretty clear. That's the candle right there. That's the liquidity candle. The low is 793. 793. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna wait for the 30-minute candle to close before I do anything. We'll wait for 30-minute candle to close. All right. Yeah. Okay, so it's just basically waiting right now. There's nothing to do. Waiting for the 30-minute candle close. The 15-minute candle has closed bearish below this, but I'm not doing anything because it's a counter trend trade. I want to see 30-minute resistance form before I look for any sells. To me, there are no sells yet because price is still pushing up. There's no sells yet. Yeah, just gotta wait. Ooh, spread. What's happening? Some news? Something's happening. Spread increased to 5 pips. Oof. Yeah, I'm just waiting. There's nothing to do. 1.3, that's high. Wow, that's 5 pips. What the hell is going on? Is there some news? No, there's nothing. Okay, it's back to normal. I don't know what happened there. Something happened there. Just got to wait for the 30-minute candle to close. 7, just over, about 7, just over 7.5 minutes. It's gonna wait for the candle to close. What's happening on the 4? We are bullish on the 4, pushing up. Got to be very careful trying to take sells here. We're very bullish. We're bullish on the daily, on the weekly, on the daily, on the 4-hour, and on the 1-hour. So no way am I taking sells until I have clear confirmation. And when I say 30-minute resistance, not a doji. I want to see clear 30-minute rejection from this liquidity candle to take a trade coming down. Otherwise, absolutely no sells. And Yeah, no buys either. Yeah, no buys. Price has to pull back to buy. Pull back, needs to pull back, and I need to see two M15 lows being taken out. This is one, but I need to see another one because since 1400 hours there is nothing. Price has just moved up, creating high lows and high highs. So I need to see a pullback, but definitely no sells, no sells for me. Not not now at least. Need to see clear 30-minute resistance form. Yeah, so we're just waiting. I'll be back in a few minutes. There's another 6 minutes for the candle to close. I'll be back in a bit. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Anybody who took sells on based on the 15-minute is now holding drawdown or is probably going to get stopped out because the candle is closing back above the London high and pushing up. That is why it's so important to wait patiently for price action to form, right? It's logical. Got a liquidity candle, price, we're trying to take a counter trend trade. All the time frames are bullish, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour. Four high time frames are bullish. There's no reason to take sells. Absolutely no reason to take sells. Wait. Wait for clear confirmation that price is going to react to this liquidity candle, stop, create clear M30 resistance, and shows price pushing down to take the retracement and take the sells coming down. Yeah, so 30 minutes, 30 seconds for the 30-minute candle to close. And we're rejecting the London high and closing above. So this 30-minute candle closed above the London high, and the next one came down, grabbed liquidity, and is closing above the London high again. Very likely to push further up. So there's absolutely no sells. And those who want to take buys can take buys, but no buys for me because price has touched the liquidity candle. So I can't take buys unless price pulls back down here to this area for me to take buys because there's no space. There's literally nowhere for price to move where inside the liquidity candle. Price could go all the way up here, 100 pips, but that's okay. I don't open buy orders inside a supply zone. Um, yeah, so just waiting. Yeah. I think I'm going to wait for this Trump speech. I think not that I want to wait, but I think I'm going to have to wait because price is just ranging right now. It's waiting for something. It's waiting for volume. Uh, NY session is just ranging. Candle closed above pre-NY, closed back below, closed back above. And now it's again trying to come back and close back below. Let's see. So just waiting. I need to see that 30-minute candle close up below the London high to anticipate a move down. Ideally below the London high. But I need to see clear 30-minute resistance form. Clear 30-minute resistance. Oh, it's too wide. Way too wide. Yeah. Would like to see price push up further, create M30 resistance here and then drop. Mm. Yeah, the market is just ranging. There's no volume, just waiting. We're pushing up. If you break this high, the previous M30 high, we should push through higher. Yeah, just about to break the high. There we go, broke the high. We should continue higher now. Should push up. Should push up. We created support. Candle closed above the London high. No buys for me for two reasons, because price hasn't broken an M15, a second M15 low. It's broken only one. This candle broke this low. Second reason is price is already in supply, has touched the liquidity candle, or is 15, 16 pips away from supply. So there is no room for me. It's not enough room. It's not that there is no room. There's not enough room for me to take buys. I want to see a pullback. I want to see at least two previous M15 lows being taken out to take buys. So no buys for me, but price should push up. But we are inside the liquidity candle, so it can turn at any point. It can reverse anywhere inside this. It can reverse here, it can reverse in the middle, it can reverse, it can come here and reverse, it can reverse anywhere inside this liquidity candle. Yeah, so just gonna wait. Gotta wait for the. It's gonna wait for this 30-minute candle to close as well. Yep, 4 minutes. Another 19 minutes for this candle to close. Gonna wait for that, because that's when Trump's speech is in 19 minutes from now. That might do something. We might get some we might have some volume. When there is volume, volume creates structure. When volume creates structure, then structure structure is recognized by price action. When we have price action, then we might know what to do. Okay, so we have to wait. Yeah, that's it. We're just waiting. Just waiting for price. Okay, so I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I'll be back in a bit. The 15-minute candle is just about to close in a minute and a half. Should be closing above these candles, basically to push further up, right? But again, as I said, no buys on me, because price is also already in supply inside the liquidity candle, and also because I have no pullback. I have no M15 lows been taken out except for just one here. I need to see a minimum of two for me to draw my fib and take a buy. So that hasn't happened yet. That's one reason. Second reason, price is already inside the liquidity candle and inside supply. So there are no buys. For those two reasons, there are no buys for me. So I'm waiting basically for 30-minute resistance to form, clear 30-minute resistance to form somewhere here to take sells to come down, or waiting for a pullback for price to come, create support, and for me to take buys to go for so that price can go back and retest these highs. Right? Those are the two scenarios that I'm waiting for. So I'll be back in 15 in about okay in I'll be back in about 5 minutes. We're going to wait for the next 15-minute candle to close. I'll be back in 5 minutes because I'm waiting for the 30-minute candle to close. All right. Okay. Testing. Okay, 7 minutes more for the candle to close. Let's see. If you close bullish, then it's likely we're heading higher. Need to see a 30-minute resistance form here, or or a 30-minute clear resistance form here, and or a 15-minute candle close below the London high. A 15-minute candle close below the London high. That's what I want to see. So either 30-minute resistance form and also for a 15-minute candle to close below this, or just a 15-minute candle, because if the 15-minute candle closes below this, very likely that the 30-minute candle also will close below the London high, pushing price down below these wicks to this 2900. And that's a trade. That'll be a nice trade to take, coming down about 150 pips to push down. Stop loss, safer stop loss will always be above the liquidity candle, but a more aggressive stop loss can be above the 30-minute candle high that created resistance. Okay, that's always the rules. But a lot of waiting. Right now there's no volume. If you look at the 15-minute time frame, um, there's no volume. This is a 50 pip candle, a 40 pip candle, also roughly 40 pip candle. So basically we are ranging, we're about 40 pips, averaging about 40 pips since NY open, which is not a lot at all. It's just a very, very low volume. As opposed to, if you see on Friday the amount of volume that we had. Friday, that's a 75 pip candle. That's a 59, 58, 59 pip candle. That's also almost a 70 pip candle. That's also 65 pip candle. That's a 90 pip candle. That's a 153 pip candle. You can see the difference in the volume, right? We're averaging about 70 pips, 75 pips here. About 70 pips, let's say 65 to 70 pips per candle, 15-minute candle. And here you're averaging 40 pips per candle. So that tells you that there was a lot of volume on Friday, and there was very little volume today right now for now, too low volume. And yesterday there's no volume at all. Look at these candles, 18 pips, 35, 27, 26, 25, 20. Yeah, it's no volume. All right, so the first couple of hours of the NY session had no volume at all, and then rest also had no volume because yesterday was a US bank holiday. So today also we have no volume yet. No volume yet. We're expecting volume to come in maybe around NYSE open. If there was, that's the next volume push, NYSE open. So NY open, pre-NY is 1. That's an hour before the NY session, NY open. So that's 7 a.m. EST. That's pre-NY. And then NY is 8 a.m. EST. And then if there's no volume in NY open, then the next volume push is NYSE open, which is 9:30 a.m. EST. And then if there is no volume in the NYSE open during the first hour or the hour and a half of NYSE open, then the next volume push is around the London close. That's around 11 a.m. EST. Yeah, it's around after 11 a.m. EST. maybe around 11:30 a.m. EST is the last and final volume push. Let's say 11:30 a.m. EST is that'll be the last. If you don't have volume, then there is basically no volume in the NY session. Then volume can possibly come during the Asian session next. So those are the times: 7 a.m. EST, 8 a.m. EST, 9:30 a.m. EST, and around 11:30 a.m. EST. Right? Those are the 4 volume pushers that you can look for. Okay, a minute and a half for the candle to close. Let's see what happens. We're closing. Seems like we're closing a doji. Nothing is happening. Absolutely no volume yet. Nothing. 30-minute candle is very likely to close the doji. Let's see. Yeah, no. I'm not interested. There is no wick above this candle. We can easily push up. Yeah, it's nothing. Close the doji. It's got to wait. Maybe wait for NYSE open. Yeah, I'm going to wait for NYSE open. Let's see if there is a trade for we have price sets up for a trade in the next 30 minutes. If it does, I'll take the trade. If not, I'll look at price, look at the chart and see if there I can give out a trade idea. If there are no trade ideas, price is just ranging and closing dojis, then unfortunately there is no trade idea for today, and that'll be the end of the stream, because I try to keep these streams to maximum of 2 hours. I try not to exceed 2 hours. And the way the streams are structured is basically the first 30 minutes is the prep work and analysis. So that's from around 7:30 a.m. EST to around 8 a.m. EST or so. That's the prep work or the analysis. And then it's basically waiting for price to get to the zone to take a trade. And the last 15 minutes or last 10 minutes of the stream is where I give out a trade idea for the next 2 to 3 hours. So right now there is nothing. We closed we rejected price rejected the London high, closed above, and the next one closed a bullish doji. There is nothing. There is literally nothing to do. On this candle has no information on the 30-minute time frame. On the 15-minute time frame, it's a bearish candle, but very close to being a doji. So there is nothing. And on the 1 hour, again, it's a bullish doji. No information. So no information on the 1 hour, hardly any information on the 30 minutes. and hardly any information on the 15-minute either. So we're just ranging right now. There's no volume. Again, if you look at the 15-minute candle, the average is about 35 pips. So the volume is kind of dropping right now from about 40 to 35 pips. Averaging 50-minute candles averaging about 40 to 35 to 40 pips, so which means there is no volume. So in a situation like this, you just have to analyze, and once you know this information, you just got to stay away from doing anything stupid. Just stay away, because there is no volume. So there is nothing that you can do to make price go in a certain direction. You just have to wait. Once we start seeing volume, once we start seeing candle closes, a 30-minute candle close, clear resistance form, and a candle close, or maybe a candle close below the London high again, close below this, a bearish candle close below this, then you can look for sells. Or if price pulls back, creates support, M30 support, then can look for buyers to go up. But right now, there's literally nothing to do. Yeah, just waiting. Okay. It's got about 10 minutes for the 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes for the candle to close. I'll be back in a bit, and if nothing happens in the next 15-minute candle, then maybe, yeah, I'll give out. Let's see, look at the chart and see if you have any opportunities for the day, for the rest of the day, and then get ready like to end the stream, because there's nothing happening. I've not taken any trades. There is no volume. I've explained why there is no volume, why I've not done anything. We're just waiting. Yeah, just waiting. Anyway, I explained this last week. There is nothing in terms of news. Third week of Feb, there is nothing, and fourth week of Feb, there is nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's no news. Fourth week, there is no news. Third week, the big news events were on the first week. Usually, that's the case when it comes to U.S. bank news. It's the first and the second week. The first week is always more, or most of the time, 99% of the time, the first week is NFP. The first Friday of the month is NFP, and then the second week is CPI. Sometimes in some months you have CPI in the second week, and you have PPI and retail sales in the third week. But that happens 20% of the time. But 80% of the time, or 70% of the time, CPI, PPI, retail sales are all in the second week. But 30% of the time, you'll have PPI and retail sales in the third week, so you have volume spread across those 3 weeks. But when it's a situation like this, where you have in the second week, you have a heavy news week, and we saw massive moves. So if you compare this week, the amount of volume, the amount of news events, right, starting from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, CPI, PPI, retail sales, if you compare that to the daily candles, right, you can see the size of the daily candles. 630 pips, 290, that's not that big, 450, 610, and 575. So that was the start of the week, right? And you can see how much of volume there was in those candles, because it was a high impact news week. Okay, so this week I don't expect this unless there are global events and there are announcements with anything to do with the tariffs. That's where volume can come in and push price in a certain direction. Again, 15-minute candle is going to close in 7 minutes. Hardly any volume, 22 pips move so far. So there's no volume. So when there is no volume, when you just get used to looking at the charts like this on a very micro level, right? If you start measuring these candles, start doing that, it'll help your decision making and help you, unnecessarily getting in on trades when there is no volume. You want to getting on trades when there is volume. So I got in on a trade on Friday because I started seeing these candles, massive candles, right? So I got in on a trade because that's when you want to get in on trades, not when there is volume like this. Pushing up still. 150872. Okay, nothing's happening. There is a large candle here, which is, no, it's not. It's not. There's nothing happening. There is nothing happening. Okay, so that's, yeah. There's no volume today. There's nothing happening. Okay, that's going to be the end of the stream. No trades today and no volume. Um, I might try a sell from here around 2920.5 if price pulls back there with a tight stop loss above this candle to anticipate price to push down roughly to 2914, 2915, 2914, around 2915 or 2914. But let's see, price needs to pull back for that. This 15-minute candle has no top wick, so I'm anticipating price to push back, to pull back, create the top wick, and then head down. The reason for that is we have broken consecutive M15 highs. We should push down because price is in the liquidity, inside the liquidity candle, right? But that's it. Other than that, there is nothing. In terms of sells, if you really want to take sells, wait for 30-minute resistance to be created to take sells. Safer stop loss would be above the liquidity candle, around 29.30, and the more aggressive stop loss would be above the 30-minute candle that created resistance, 30-minute high that created resistance. I might take a sell here. Might take a sell here. Yeah. Yeah. So that's about it. And for buys, if you take in buys, then wait for price to push down, create M30 support, and then for price to move up, right? Again, stop loss above the 30-minute candle that created support, sorry, below the 30-minute candle low that created support, and for price to push up. For sells, if there is a 30-minute candle close here, a clear resistance form, then the TPs would be around closer to the EMAs. You can take partial TPs around 29.14 and then full TP around the EMAs, which is about 97 pips. Other than that, I don't see anything. There is no volume. I don't see anything happening. All right. So I've placed pending orders here at 2920.6 and 2921.5. Stop loss above 2922.5. Okay, that's about it. We'll come back and see tomorrow if the trade ideas played out, if the sells or the buys played out, the ones that I just gave. Okay, so that's about it for me. The reason I'm ending the stream right now is because there is no volume. I don't see anything happening right now. Okay, see you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Take care.